What's up, guys? It's been about a week since I've recorded a video. I don't know if you guys can tell by my voice, but I've been pretty sick. I'm also on a pretty high dosage of promethazine at the moment, so I'm probably just high as f*** and I just don't know what's going on in the community. But I have been rage baited by you guys into posting this video because I don't think a lot of people understand how influencer marketing works or how things are working right now in the Twitch slash Valorant Riot space regarding the September promotion that Valorant ended up doing. So I'm going to explain a little bit about it here. To start, I made a claim that Riot paid roughly $300,000-$400,000 to Cenat during his Mafiathon, his subathon that he did, which I call the Begathon because a lot of it was just begging for subs as a multi-millionaire, which is something that generally you know that I like kind of hate that shit, but it is what it is. I'm not really big on that. This is nothing really against Cenat. It's more just a criticism of Riot Games. I think that Riot could spend a lot more money investing in the scene itself, investing into things like tier 2, investing into things like the LPL broadcast instead of doing massive influencer marketing campaigns such as this. Now, the reason I'm making this video and the reason I was rage baited is because I came out with a tweet. You have to place 3rd in the world as a team to get as much money from this tournament as Riot gave to Cenat during his Begathon. Technically, it's not quite this. Maybe it's like 5th place, $300,000 plus, but I think a lot of people are very confused as to how the Valorant September promotion actually ended up working. And, you know, you can tell from my replies, if you look at my tweet, you look at my replies, 30-year-old man lying about promotional gift subs while simultaneously demeaning another streamer who has done nothing to you except be multiple magnitudes more successful, just so you have another thing to blindly complain about without knowing a single detail. Classic Dom. I think that I actually know way more details about this than the community. I think the community just doesn't understand what's going on. Me, when I spread misinformation, most people are just saying that I'm spreading misinformation. They didn't give any money to Cenat. How it feels to spread misinformation and lies. I like to shit on Riot, but Riot only bought the name of the gifted. It was Twitch that did it. Misinformation and hate, 15 yards and automatic first down. Obviously, I'm replying to this because, you know, I don't like taking shit from random people. Accidental spreading of misinfo or Riot didn't give him any money. What are you talking about? So people though that, you know, haven't been in the loop, they don't know what happened. The reason why I'm saying that Riot ended up giving Cenat so much money, it's because of this. Okay, so SpiderX came out with a tweet. He's somebody who posts a lot of like Riot stuff. He posts changes on PBE and stuff like this. He's a known Twitter account in the League of Legends space. He has like almost as many followers as I have. He said, what even is Riot's marketing budget here? At a minimum for T1 subs, that's like $360,000. Later, he posts the context. Now, this is context from Leo Faria, who is somebody who works on Valorant. He is a creator and builder, global head of Valorant esports, and commissioner of the VCT at Riot Games. He says, for context, this campaign is part of Twitch's September, which this year is presented by Valorant in celebration of champions. Every partner and affiliate on the platform benefits from this and automatic gift sub for every 5 gifted subs, with Twitch matching your gifted subs. Now, he says Twitch matching your gifted subs, but you have to be very careful with this type of wording, because if you start thinking about it past just the surface level, you'll understand that obviously Riot is paying the money for these gifted subs. Now, we'll start here because I think a lot of people didn't even get past this hurdle, which is that when a sub is gifted, let's say Twitch gifts you subs, they still have to pay that money to the creator. The creator is still making money based off the gifted sub. It's not like Twitch just adds 60,000 subs to your account and it's like, oh, it's free for them because they're the ones adding it in their Twitch. They won't have to pay the Twitch fee. If you don't know how subs work, normally it's 70-30 for most creators that are big. For smaller creators, it's 50-50 split, which means that for every dollar that you earn based on the sub, so every dollar in sub cost, so somebody buys a sub for $6, the creator gets 70% of that. Twitch gets 30% of that. If Twitch adds subs to your channel, you know, they don't have to take the 30% cost that would go to them, but they still have to pay the money out to the creator for the sub that was gifted. That's the first thing I just want to state, because I think a lot of people didn't even get past that point where they're like, okay, if Twitch gifts you 70,000 subs or 60,000 subs or whatever it ended up being for Cenat, that money is still getting paid to the creator. So Cenat is still going to make, I've heard that he has a 90-10 split. I've heard he at least has 80-20. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm not Cenat. I'm not friends with him or anything. I don't know exactly how much money he gets, but it would make sense that he has a better split than creators like myself. Creators in my range, I can't say what my split is, but I would say that creators in my range normally get a 70-30 split. If you're one of the top, 500 streamers on Twitch, you'll normally get a 70-30 split. Unless you're somebody who's in like hot water, you've been banned a lot of times or something like that, right? Somebody says, so Twitch pays for all the subs and Valorant just gets paid for the naming rights and to promote champions, or am I misunderstanding? Yes, that's correct. We're sponsoring the event. not gifting the subs. Now, I think that this is something that you have to really read into. When somebody says they're sponsoring the event, not gifting the subs, maybe Valorant paid enough money where the gifted subs are baked into that. Like they estimate how many gifted subs would be given with a campaign like this. And then Valorant gives a little bit extra money on top. So Twitch gets, let's say, something like $1 million a day, and they only have to pay something like $780,000 in subs, and the rest of the money goes to Twitch. Maybe there's some deal like that. But at the end of the day, when these subs are gifted, that money goes to the creator. It has to come from somewhere. And Twitch is not going to negotiate a deal where they are going to lose money. They're going to have to pay creators extra money and simultaneously also have to promote somebody else's game and somebody else's event. You know, like you can negotiate a deal because it is obviously beneficial for people to watch Valorant champions on Twitch, even though Valorant does stream on other websites like YouTube. Maybe there's a little bit, maybe they're giving them a slightly sweeter deal than normal, but no one at Twitch, I mean, if somebody did this, they're getting fired instantly, is negotiating a deal where they're going to have to promote somebody else's product and also have to take a fucking massive loss in terms of money. So a lot of people are getting tripped up here where it says we're sponsoring the event, not gifting the subs. The point is that the amount of money that they're sponsoring the event for is obviously going to be significantly higher than the gifted subs portion because they are also gaining from this, right? It is influencer marketing. They're trying to get their name all over the place. They want you to go to Cenat's stream and see Valorant, 70,000 #1 gifted subs. And people be like, what the fuck, Valorant? What's that? Check it out. They play the game. Oh shit, this game's kind of fun. Then they buy skins, whatever. It's influencer marketing. It's standard influencer marketing. It is a brand awareness deal. And it's site-wide on Twitch. It's not specific to Cenat, but he's the person that obviously got the most subs from Valorant. And he's the person that I would be very surprised if they weren't aware of his Mafiathon when they decided to do this deal. And they're trying to tap into these different communities because not everyone is aware of Valorant. You know, it's not that smart for them to do like direct partnerships with people like me that already are people that promote Riot Games products because everyone is already aware that Valorant exists. So it's kind of funny here because he says this, which implies that they're obviously paying a ton of money here. People eat it up. They say that clears up a lot. Thank you, Leo. Right? And what I think is funny, and I was the only person that ended up liking this tweet, is the one person that gets it, that sees what Riot is doing here, what they're doing with words to try to make it seem like to the average person they're not paying money. Now, I'm sure they would have a defense for this where they're like, we said we were sponsoring the event. But clearly when he said this, a lot of people viewed it as, oh, so Twitch is gifting the subs. So Twitch is paying for the subs. Oh, yeah, Twitch must be giving the money then. Well, that money surely is not coming from Riot and just given to Twitch and then given to the creator. No. It's just Twitch being generous. Wow, what a nice thing for Twitch. Like, this is the level of thinking we're dealing with. And I think that this is something that I'm actually really triggered by. And this is why I'm so like spiteful towards the community is I can't tell why I get a bunch of responses like this. When people say I'm spreading misinformation, I don't know if everyone is just really naive. They just don't understand how influencer marketing works. If they don't know how September worked, if they don't know what these words even mean, if they haven't thought about the fact that creators are still getting paid, and obviously Riot is going to be incurring that type of cost, I don't know if it's that, or if it's just people being like very like cynical, or people trying to like jump on every single word where it's like, well, they didn't technically give him any money. Look, let me tell you something, right? I declined a fuck ton of money from EWC, right? The reason why I declined the money from EWC was very obvious, right? I didn't want to take money from the Saudi Arabian government because they commit a bunch of human rights abuses, and I just don't think that's correct. I don't think I should be taking money from people like that. Technically, the Saudi Arabian government would then give money to the Saudi Public Investment Fund, who would then give it to a greater agency that would then give it to my agency that would then give it to me. But those layers of abstraction does not mean that I'm still not receiving money directly from the Saudi government at the end of the day. Like, that is where the money is coming from. And that is why I declined that money. It's the same thing here. It's not as sinister, but it's the same thing where just because Riot gave Twitch the money and then Twitch was like, oh, thank you, and he gives it to Cenat, that doesn't mean that Riot did not give money to Cenat. And like, sure, like if you're trying to gotcha me on the exact wording, sure. But the point is that the money, where's the money coming from? It's coming from Riot, right? It's influencer marketing campaign. They're trying to promote Valorant champions. And the way that they do that is by giving money. So this one guy gets it, man. Seems like a meaningless distinction to me. Sponsoring September means you are effectively paying for the subs, if not directly. Twitch still has to pay the creators for the subs, which is coming from the money you are paying them. I don't understand why this anonymous user, and I swear this anonymous user is not myself, bro. I know people are going to see this, be like, what the fuck? Who's this fucking Twitter account? Look, he better not follow me. All right. Doesn't follow me. Random user posts this and he gets it, but then everyone else is just running with a narrative like, oh, it's free money. free fucking money. Great deal, bro. They're geniuses. Anyways, we'll keep it going. This is what the actual deal is. So if you don't know how the deal works, talk about it here. Discounted subs all month long, 25% off 1 month subs, 25% off 3 month subs, and 30% off 6 month subs on web and mobile. Even though you'll be getting more for less, don't worry. During September, Twitch covers the difference. So your favorite streamers will still get the same payout as a full priced sub. So what does it mean? Normally a sub costs $6, right? A creator will still get money based off that $6. So let's say you have a 70-30 split. You will still get $6 times 0.7. This is for a 70-30 split. And even though the person pays less for the sub, you still get $4.20. So Twitch gets less of a cut of the money, but they're still going to be making money overall on these subs, right? And this is something that's nice to do for the creators, but it still is a way that Twitch is going to make money, and they obviously don't run this all the time. Here's the bonus gift subs. This is what Cenat got money from Valorant. From September 26th to October 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we're capping off September with a bonus gift sub finale. For every 5 gifted subs purchased for a channel, Valorant will add 1 bonus gift sub in celebration of Valorant Champions Paris. But be on the lookout because they'll be periodically giving out additional subs to support your favorite streamers. So why is it worded like this? Okay, the reason why they're not saying how many subs that they're going to periodically also give out is normally the way that a deal like this will be structured is that Twitch will go to Riot and say, hey, if you want to sponsor this, generally we get, and we'll just use whole numbers here. I don't know if it's a million. I don't know if it's less than this, more than this, whatever. But let's just say that they say we get 1 million gifted subs every day during September. This means that if you were to do 1 gifted sub for every 5, that you're going to have to pay for 200,000 gifted subs. For that 200,000 gifted subs, they're not going to have to pay Twitch the extra money. I mean, they're paying Twitch enough. Like they're going to structure a deal where they'll give extra money on top to Twitch. But let's say that they say that, most of our creators get between 50 and 70% per sub. So you're going to end up actually having to pay, we'll just split the difference. Let's say you're going to have to pay roughly 60%, right? Sorry, I'll do this one more time because it's actually, so it's 200,000 times 6 because that's the actual price of what the sub would be. And then it would be times 0.6. So this is what it would actually be. It will be $720,000. That's how much it will end up being. So what the deal would be structured like, and this is obviously not specifics of the deal, but I'm just explaining how it would normally be. For these 5 days, we'll give you $1 million a day for these subs, plus whatever extra money on top to sponsor the event. And for whatever money gets left over, let's say they commit to $1 million a day in gifted subs, they're like, surely there's no way that it'll hit that. We'll gift out subs equal to whatever the difference is. So if you have $1 million, right? Let's say you have $1 million that you're willing to pay per day, and then you take the 720,000, that'll just be from the gifted subs, the money that is just directly going to the creators. Remember, they're not going to have to pay the full price of the gifted sub. They're going to pay the money that is gifted to the creators. It'll be baked into the deal. We have $280,000 left over, and that's where Valorant will be randomly like spreading that $280,000 in subs across different streams. So that's normally how the structure of a deal like this would work. Once again, there's no way that Twitch negotiated a deal where they simultaneously have to promote Valorant as a game, and at the same time, they have to pay extra money to their creators. Yeah, we're just gonna have to give free money to our creators and then also do work for another company. Like, that's not how these deals work. So I think that a lot of people will get tripped up by, yes, that's correct, we're sponsoring the event, not gifting the subs. And it's like, if you're sponsoring the event, you're covering the cost of the gifted subs because that's the only way that it would make sense for other people. So let's talk about Cenat. Now, I thought he got up to 60 to 70,000. I think that when I went to stream, I saw 70,000 gifted subs from Valorant. Maybe it was less than that. So let's just go 65,000. Let's say he, only got 25,000 gifted subs in that last day, which I think he got more than that, but whatever. Let's say that he got 65,000 gifted subs from Valorant, right? This would obviously be multiplied by 6. That would be the cost of the average sub. This is what he's getting paid based off. You're not paying this much for the sub, but as it said here, this line, if you don't remember, this line covers the difference. So your favorite streamers will still be getting the same payout as a full price sub, right? So let's say there's $390,000, and of that, Kai has an 80-20 split. He might have more, he might have less. Maybe he's on 70-30. We'll even go at minimum. Okay, let's say he gets 70-30. He has the same split that creators like myself get, even though he's one of the biggest streamers on the site. And, he's one of the main people that drives people to Twitch. That's $273,000 that Cenat is going to be owed by Twitch. Where is that money coming from, guys? After everything that I've said, where is that money coming from? Where do you think that $273,000 at minimum is coming from? And the idea, yes, I understand it's influencer marketing, but he's getting paid that money. He is getting paid that money. Somebody owes Cenat that money, and Valorant is going to be the ones paying it, right? Riot is going to be the ones paying it. Only this is nothing against Cenat. I don't care that he's making a ton of money. Like, I'm not jealous about this. Like this, I think a lot of people misconstrued my argument. They think I'm attacking another streamer. I am flaming Riot because for $273,000, they could have had an LPL broadcast the entire year. For $273,000, you could have a full English LPL broadcast for an entire year to cover one of your 5 major regions in League of Legends. But instead, they're doing these massive influencer marketing campaigns. You could have Cloudflare servers where people are not getting DDoSed. Bro, right now, we're in the middle of relegations. People that don't know what's going on, we're in the middle of relegations right now. This is going to determine the next year of people's lives. And during a relegation match between Estral Esports and Disguised, there was like 5 hours worth of pauses. Maybe it was 4 hours worth of pauses. Some obscene amount of pauses because the servers are getting DDoSed. So these people are playing an elimination match and having to sit there for 4 to 5 hours just at their computers, not able to look at other stuff. There's obviously a cheating scandal that went on, so we'll cover that at some point. But they're dealing with all this bullshit. They're dealing with all this bullshit just sitting there. Fuck, man, like I hope we actually like get into games soon. And this could determine the rest of their lives. There's so many different things that they could do to improve the scene. They can invest money into tier 2. They can invest money into tier 2 Valorant, which I've heard there's a huge issue with. This is where I think that more money should go in general. And I think that in general, Riot should just take care of people that are already playing their game more. It's like, for example, as a streamer, this is going to be some issues with this comparison, but like as a streamer, you don't want to completely ditch your normal fan base to try to grow a new one. You don't want to completely like change games. If I, as a League of Legends content creator, just started doing Dota and I alienated 100% of my existing fan base, even if I gained some fans of Dota, it wouldn't be worth it for me. And I think that it's a short-sighted way to get people to play Valorant right now. But if the same issues persist, people start playing Valorant and they're like, what the fuck, man? We're getting DDoS for like 3 days in a row. I can't even play the game. People are going to quit. So I just think that there's better uses for this money. And I think that Riot always, you know, they've been downsizing. They downsized the LEC broadcast. They completely destroyed the LPL broadcast, completely cut that out. They took away tier 2 requirements. They don't invest in tier 2. This is where I think the money should be going instead. But anyways, I hope this video was pretty insightful. I'm going to end the video now because I can barely talk anymore, bro. I'm coughing up a storm. That's why there's so many cuts in this video. But I wanted to put this out there because I think a lot of people just didn't understand what was going on, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what the issue was. But I wanted to put out this video to clarify how these deals work and how influencer marketing works. I mean, I'm somebody that's done this for years, bro. I've cleared 7 figures in influencer marketing deals for myself personally. So it's something that I know a decent amount about and I can read through the lines. And I just want to help people read through those lines if they weren't able to themselves. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.